Ever wondered what really makes someone an expert? I mean, is it the degree hanging on the wall, or is it the actual problems they can solve? Today, we're going to dig into two powerful and really different paths to professional mastery: the classic university route and a newer, industry-driven approach. Let's get into it.
I mean, think about it. The world is changing so fast, like literally by the second. So the big question is, can the traditional way of learning really keep up? With entire industries reinventing themselves, we have to ask, is a theory-based education enough to give professionals the skills they need to thrive right now?
All right, so let's break this down. We're really looking at two very different paths to getting that expertise. Each one has its own philosophy, its own structure, and, its own destination. So on one hand, you've got the classic academic model, right? It's all about building that deep theoretical foundation. But then, on the other hand, there's this industry-led model, and this one is just laser-focused on practical skills. I'm talking about solving the problems that companies are wrestling with today.
And this table, man, it really lays it all out. The academic route, run by bodies like the MQA, is super structured and standardized. It's fantastic for building that foundational knowledge, but let's be honest, it can be slow to adapt. Now, the industry-led path, it's incredibly agile. It follows international standards like ISO and can pretty much change its curriculum on a dime to meet what the market needs. So what's the bottom line here? One path gives you that deep intellectual understanding, while the other gives you immediately applicable job-ready skills. Okay, so that all sounds good in theory, right? But how does this industry-led model actually work? Let's dive into a real-world example, the Think Plus Academy, and its unique three-phase method.
It's this really cool three-step journey. First, you build that base of knowledge and, crucially, logical thinking. From there, you move into the nitty-gritty, strategic analysis, figuring out what the real problems are. And then it all comes together in the final step, which is all about project development and learning how to communicate your ideas. So, phase one, and this is key, it's not about cramming your head with textbook definitions. No way. It's all about learning to think logically. It's about connecting these big concepts, like the P5 sustainability framework, to what's actually happening out there. New government policies, crazy market shifts, you name it. The real goal is to build a strategic mind that can see the entire chessboard. All right, phase two is where you roll up your sleeves and get your hands dirty. You start using these practical tools like the SWOT analysis you're seeing here, and you apply them to actual real-world case studies. This is that critical moment where you go from just looking at a problem to really taking it apart piece by piece and finding those hidden opportunities. And then we hit the final phase, and this is the culmination of everything. All that analysis, it turns into real, tangible action. You're not just writing a paper, you're creating a real project for your own company or a case study. But here's the twist. It's not enough to just do the project. You have to sell it. You have to tell a compelling story and then defend your ideas in a Q&A. This is where you prove you're the full package. Okay, so what does all this add up to? What's the actual value of this model when the rubber hits the road? Let's take a look. This quote from Dr. Noor Saidatul Akmar Mazulin just hits the nail on the head. This whole thing isn't just about training one person. It's about empowering entire businesses to grow sustainably. It's about turning knowledge into a real deal competitive advantage. So, what's the big goal here for someone going through this? Well, you come out the other side as a sustainability communications specialist. And that's not just a fancy title. It means you're someone who doesn't just get the data. You can analyze the really complex stuff, come up with innovative solutions, and this is huge, you can actually champion that change effectively inside your organization and your industry. And you know who this is a total game changer for? Entrepreneurs and business owners. Why? Because it completely flips the script on how they see things. An employee might look at sustainability and just see, compliance and costs. But an entrepreneur who goes through this, they start to see it as an engine for growth, a way to create new services, tap into new markets. It literally turns a cost center into a massive opportunity. Okay, but let's be real. All of this leads to a super important question. What about the piece of paper at the end? How do these industry-led certifications actually hold up in the professional world? Well, the answer is pretty powerful. And it's this international standard called ISO/IEC 17024. Now, here's the best way to think about it. This standard doesn't certify the course you took, it certifies you. It's a globally recognized, totally impartial way of proving to the world what you can actually do, not just which class you sat in. And the benefits of this, they're huge.
First off, these certifications are credible because they're based on competence, what you can do, not just that you showed up. They're recognized all over the world, which is a massive plus for your career. And because they're always being updated, you know for a fact that the skills you're getting are exactly what the industry is desperate for right now.
And this isn't just some abstract idea. This legitimacy is backed by real professional recognition. Graduates can earn these certified titles from major global bodies. So when you put these credentials on your profile, it's a clear signal to everyone that you're not just a graduate. You are an industry-vetted specialist.
And check this out. Here's a really cool final point. This whole model doesn't have to exist in a silo completely separate from the academic world. In fact, these professional credentials can often get you credit if you decide to go back for a traditional university degree. It's like building a bridge between the two worlds, giving you the best of both.
So that leaves us with one final thought. As the world just keeps changing faster and faster, what's really the most valuable thing you can have? Is it that degree hanging on your wall? Or is it the proven, undeniable ability to solve the problems we're facing today and the ones coming tomorrow? Something to think about.